I am the Word, a generation given life and embodied, landing on the soils of your heart like a comet. I am the Word, that which gives solace, gem-studded crown from a rock unpolished. I am spoken into being like a prayer or a promise. I am the Word. Listen.
I know what hatred looks like.
I'm the product of a society that decided to use children as child soldiers. Instead of wearing nappies, we were wearing camouflage. Instead of baby bottles, they put guns in our hands and persuaded us to think with the illusion of being men in advance. Both of my parents were born in the south of Sudan. My mother birthed me in prison, and the circumstances that came to that was she was brewing alcohol, which was illegal at the time in Sudan. In the early 1980s, she was providing for the family and expecting me. She had to figure out finances, and she was arrested, and she birthed me in prison. Growing up in times when the honorable thing to do was give up your children to serve in this uninitiated army of children, well, my parents sensed that there has to be more for children, that something different has to happen for this generation. Dad passed on right before we came here. And he started to realize freedom really does come at an expense. When we found out we got into Australia, the magnitude of that is something that, as a person who's there, you think someone is playing a prank on you. We were put into language school with no English, and then they gave us tests to kind of measure where we stood. And it was ridiculous because we barely knew the differences between yes and no. And in a lot of ways, it became a challenge for me to first and foremost just learn to speak the language. Illiteracy is a nightmare no child should ever have to go through. I got the feeling of learning to connect out of listening to hip-hop MCs. And one of them, of course, was Eminem, and realizing how he felt, just verbalizing the anger, the frustration. And that's how I learned to read, just by lip-syncing lyrics. But the liberation that came with it, wow.
Only 10 years old, wanted to refuse but had nowhere to go. In his mind, this isn't the life that he was destined to be. He just wanted to be free.
Spoken word poetry pretty much allows you to not be able to fake authenticity. So from all of the numb emotions and so forth, it was just brutal honesty. It was the anger of, man, how could one half of the world literally live in freedom and the other half not? It was a wound that I needed to self-inflict in order to be able to tend to. I write these days in a lot of ways to be in a position to go, man, all of these realizations come from the very idea that literacy has empowered me with.
If you want to show us your support, subscribe to the Being Here YouTube channel. It actually makes a big difference for us. Thanks.